What's up, Nonstop Nation? It's been a while since I've done one of these videos, but today I'm doing another song lyric breakdown from one of my favorite Christian artists. Wasn't planning on making this video, but I went to church this morning, obviously, that's why I'm doing this video, but the message today was on marriage. And this song, well, not exactly on marriage, but it is on kind of starting relationships in a way. So Matthew West wrote this song for all the guys that quote unquote into his daughters, to ask him basically permission before the guys ask his daughters out on a date. So that's what this song's on. It's a great song. I love it. And I'm going to break it down. So I actually got the lyric video on my TV on YouTube. I'm going to read the lyrics like I normally always do. Then I'll rewind the video to the beginning, then break down each line. And I muted the TV so that way there's no copyright. I'm going to get rid of that little. So, song starts off, before you ask her on a Friday night first date, it might be good for you and me to get a few things straight. Before you ask her, now I hear that doorbell ring, or she ain't gonna answer till you answer me. And this is where the chorus starts. Wait, what? Here's where the chorus starts. Will you hold the door, be polite, pick up the tab, and treat her right? Have her home by 10 and not a minute after. Will he take it slow when it comes to love? Let a goodnight kiss be far enough. And treat her with respect, cause that's what matters. Or I guess you got some things to ask yourself. Oh, I hit the wrong button on my controller. Before you ask her, let me tell you about my girl. She's a 4th of July firework, and she'll light up the whole world. I feel like that's a typical dad thing, to be honest. I'll explain later. Before you ask her, you need to know her heart's worth. And if she chooses you, then that makes you the luckiest on earth. I think the whole video is basically a whole dad thing. Will you build her up? Man, wait, I did pause it. Will you build her up? Don't let her down. And never try to steal her crown. Believe in all the dreams she's chasing after. Will you give her wings and let her fly? Because if you do, she'll touch the sky. Will you always let her know that her voice matters? Oh, I guess you got some things to ask yourself. Before you ask her. I mean, there's a third line in that little spot, but I'm not going about reading it. Before you ask me if you could walk her down the aisle, I know this day was coming. I've seen the way you make her smile. Before you ask her, before you get down on one knee and make my girl the promise, I need you to promise me. Will you stay for better or worse? Will you put her and Jesus first? That's what I'll explain later about what I'm thinking right there. And always be her happy ever after. Will you let that ring remind you that even when the hard times find you, it's the promises we keep that really matter? I guess you got some things to ask yourself. Before you ask her. Now, some of these lines I'm not really going to break down like that, because there's really no need to really break it down. And I think that was the end of the song too. No, I don't want. Yeah, it was. Alright, so I'm going to break down each line. And the way I'm going to do this, since I'm using my TV, each time the lyrics pop up on the screen, I'm going to use how many lines there are in that. So right now, I'm seeing 4 lines. I'll read all those and do my best to break down the song, the lyrics. So, back to the beginning. Before you ask her on a Friday night first date, it might be good for you and me to get a few things straight. Now, like I said earlier during the whole read through, this song is a typical dad thing. If you're dad, let me know in the comment section below. And the reason why I say that, line 3, it might be good for you and me to get a few things straight. Now, because a guy's interested in a girl, it's usually best to get to know the dad a little bit. The reason why I say that is because you need to know if he truly believes you're good enough for his daughter. If not, then if you end up seeing his daughter, every time she brings you over, it's gonna be awkward. And just you and the dad needs to talk things out, and he needs to do his little dad thing to figure out your interests, the reason why you're interested in her, and you know what you believe in a relationship. I think that's what that whole thing is. You and dad talking it out before you ask her on a date. Doesn't matter if it's a Friday night first date or a Monday night date or whatever. I feel like it's just a good idea to get to know her dad first. Before you ask her, and I hear that doorbell ring, or she ain't gonna answer until you answer me. That's just going back to what I just said. The daughter might not answer because he's gonna answer the door and be protective of her, which is completely understandable. He doesn't know you, you don't know him, he doesn't trust you till you answer him. I truly believe that's what that line says. I think that's what Matt means from that. Will you hold the door, be polite, pick up the tab, and treat her right? Have her home by 10, not a minute after. I mean, that's just being... He wants to know if you're being a true gentleman by holding the door for her, whether it's car door, restaurant door. And he wants to know if you're going to be polite and not be a total you know what. And obviously, seeing a girl out on a date, the guy has to pay, man. Don't make her pay at all. If you're a guy that makes her pay, like for dinner or whatever, that relationship is not going to last long at all. And just... obviously, treat the girl right. If you're a douche, then why are you with her? And if you're going to do... if you're going to cheat on her, why are you with her? Or anything mean that's going to hurt her or in any type of way. Why are you with her in the first place? The reason why you're interested in the girl, because you like her, you want to be with her. And that's that. Then have her home by 10, not me after. Again, typical dad thing, to be honest. Plus, I think 10 is a reasonable hour. Will you take it slow when it comes to love? Let a good night kiss be far enough. And that's... Wait. Oh, I wasn't done with that. And that's true. When you first start a relationship, I feel like if you jump into bed early on in a relationship, then that defeats the whole purpose of a relationship. Because getting physical is not what a relationship should be about. It needs to be on trust, honesty, and if you jump into bed early on, then that's what the whole relationship is going to be on. Not trust, honest, and just... You're going to dump her eventually. Because that's what you want. That might not be what she wants. But, yeah. Treat her with respect, because that's what matters. That's going back to just a few lines ago. Can't think of the lines, but it's the questions thing. Picking up the tab, treating her right. That's what that's going back to. Because treating a girl with respect is the top priority. Why else would you want to be with someone? Doesn't matter if it's a girl or your best friend. You treat your girlfriend or boyfriend with the same respect you have for your casual friends. If you don't treat them right, then you're just going to be lonely. You're not going to have any friends unless you're the street kind of people. And that's just a bad path you're going down. I should know, because I had neighbors that had a son like that, and he's in prison for life because he went down the wrong path. I'm not going to get into details, but yeah. And the last line of this is, I guess you got some things to ask yourself. Which also means you got some things to pray about. And what I mean by that is you're not the only one. You're not... I'm trying to think of the right words to say for this. God puts people in your life for a reason. And God puts you in a relationship for trying to find the right word for this. I'm going to use what the pastor said today. God put someone in your life, like girlfriend or boyfriend, to help you become a better person. He didn't say those words exactly, but that's what I think he was talking about in his message today. So that's what God does. I truly believe that. So, if you're interested in a girl and you really want to be with her, pray about it. Make sure she's the one that God wants you to be with before you ask her out. I truly believe that. Now, here's what I was talking about. A typical dad thing. Let me tell you about my girl. She's a 4th of July fireworks. She'll light up your whole world. Of course a dad is going to say that. Of course she is. Of course he is going to say that about her. Because he knows his daughter. She knows what she deserves in life. Like everyone, they deserve to be happy. Of course, he's going to say that. Tell me that I'm wrong, Father. Dad's watching this. Tell me I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me how I'm wrong. Let this be a conversation. That's all I have to say about that. You need to know her heart's worth. And if she chooses you, then that makes you the luckiest on earth. Yeah. Like the last thing. Of course, he's going to say that. And if she chooses you, then that truly believes she likes you for you. And you make her happy. Which is the best news a father could hear. And if he doesn't like you, then I don't know. But if she does like you, that's great. That's great news. Then that makes you the luckiest on earth. And I will put a link to the song in the top comment below. So go to the top comment below and check out this song. I know that. Suppose I did that. Yeah, I need to make sure that's where I'm at. Will you build her up? And for this, I'm going to do one at a time. Will you build her up? Because being a supportive boyfriend or girlfriend, that's where the true happiness, I believe, starts. Doesn't matter if it's early in the relationship or if you go on 25 years. If you're with someone for 25 years or more, well, I would even say 10 years or more, then that's awesome. That's great. That means you're still building her up, not letting her down, which is the next sign. Don't let her down. And you believe in her. You believe everything that she could do, or him. And the reason why I say him, I won't say that right now. The reason why I'm saying him as well, because I'm not just reading this for a guy to treat a girl with respect. I'm also saying it for the girl as well. You gotta treat him right, treat him with respect, build him up, not let him down, and all that. I'm saying for both sides. Then the third line is, and never try to steal her crown. Excuse me. If you try to steal a girl's crown and not build her up, then what is wrong with you? Trying to steal a girl's crown is, to me, it's saying you don't trust her or him. And then that's when the relationship's kind of doomed. You guys are going to break up, and yeah. Then the next line is, believe in all the dreams she's chasing after. That's just going back to, will you build her up? Believing in all the dreams she's chasing after is another way you're supporting her or him. And not believing in her or him, then you guys should not be together. Will you give her wings and let her fly? Because if you do, she'll touch the sky, which is true. Going to the last line. If you let her fly and trust her, then yeah, she's going to touch the sky and be happy. And you will be happy. Will you always let her know that her voice matters? And that is big. Not letting a girl have a voice in the relationship is... I want to go to the movie God's Not Dead, for example. The main professor in that movie, he did not let his wife, pretty sure she was his wife, he did not give her voice, did not build her up. She was miserable in the relationship. She fell for him because he was a nice guy at first. And when they got married, things changed. He basically controlled her life. And she was basically doing everything in the house. Cooking, cleaning. And when they had guests, she was basically the waitress, which a girl should not be. Yeah. That is my example to kind of that. God's Not Dead. Great movie. And the bottom line says, I guess you got some things to ask yourself, which is the end saying, line of saying you got some things to pray about. And this line I'm going to break down before you ask her, I'm going to break that down because it's really nothing to really break down right there. Then this is starting to be like it's probably about a year in the relationship. Like, her father likes you. You guys are madly in love. Not just the father, the mom probably likes you as well. Before you ask me if you could walk her down the aisle, I knew this day was coming. I've seen the way you make her smile, which is all good in a relationship. And a true gentleman will go to her father and look him straight in the eye and ask for his blessing to marry his daughter. That's what that means. Now I know, before I move on, I know two guys that did not ask his girlfriends. He did not ask their father to marry him. They did not. One's one of my friends. I'm not going to say names. I want to keep that private. One, far as I know, happy. They have a kid. But her family don't like the guy. I don't like the guy either. Because he's kind of a, you know what. Then the other friend, miserable. The complete opposite of the other one. She's miserable. But again, have a kid, which makes this whole situation worse in her situation. But true gentleman would ask her father for the blessing. And before I move on, I got a question for all the fathers. If they ask you to marry your daughter, what's the reason for you to say no? I'm just truly curious. Obviously, if you say yes, you like the guy and believe that he will treat her right. And there's everything in the song I was just talking about. But what's your reason for saying no? Let me know your answer in the comment section below. Before you get down on one knee and make my girl a promise, I need you to promise me. That's leading up to the next part. You need to promise the girl's father. Will you promise him that you will stay married for better or for worse? If you do, that's fantastic. Will you put her and Jesus first? Now, when I hear this song, I don't know why, but don't judge me when I say this. Please don't. When I hear that line, I don't know why, but when Matthew says, will you put her and Jesus first? I think he says, which in the song, put proves me wrong what he's saying. But I always thought he was saying, will you put her or Jesus first? Now, obviously the answer is, for that, put both first. Because if you put her first and Jesus, then you're doing the right thing. You're treating her like how God would treat you, or Jesus. He's giving you the power. No, scratch that. Not power. He's giving you the strength to love her the way she should. That's what I believe. But what I always thought he was saying, when you put her or Jesus first, how would you choose? You can't really choose one or the other. In my mind, you got to choose both. Put both of them first. Because if you put her first, then you're going to fall away from God or Jesus. But if you put Jesus first, then your relationship and marriage is going to drift apart. So you got to put both of them first to have the marriage last a lifetime. And like I was just saying, put both first and always be her happy ever after. That's kind of what my point was. Putting her and Jesus first will be yours and her happy ever after. Will you let that ring remind you that even when the hard times find you, it's a promise we keep that really matters. And what he's saying there is your vows. Your vows are your promises to each other. And that ring you put on your finger is a reminder of your promises. And if you break those promises, then the whole marriage is going to fall apart. And I'm saying this, and I'm single. But this is everything I truly believe a relationship will be to make it last. God, talk to her father first. Get to know him. Treat her right. Build her up. And believe in her dreams. Then once you guys put those rings on your finger, then your vows are your promises. Break those promises, then the whole marriage will fall apart. And that's what I truly believe. And I want this to be a conversation in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree with everything I said? If you disagree, then the discussion is open. If you agree, great. Then you're a man of God. And you will treat a girl right. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys like this video, please put a like. If you want me to do more lyric breakdowns, give me a song. I'll do my best to break it down. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Nonstop out.